In order to use all of the properties and methods you've created in the Calculator Functions class so far, you have had to first create an instance of the class. Some properties, such as the datetime.now property you saw in Lesson 5.7, can be accessed without creating an instance of the class. These are called static properties and methods. You'll create some in this lesson. To begin, open the My Project sample file from your Sample Files folder. And open calculatorfunctions.cs. We are now going to make the add method static. A static method can be called without creating an instance of its class. The methods in the Math class you saw in Lesson 5.11 were all static methods. Change the line that begins the add function to public static double add double first number double second number. All you need to do to make a method static is to add the word static after its protection level. You can do exactly the same thing to make classes and properties static. Note that you should avoid using static properties wherever possible. Static methods can be very useful, but static properties are a very bad idea. When you create a static property, it is available to your entire application. This means that every class in the application is able to change its value. For this reason, you can never be sure what value the static property has, rendering it worthless. The use of static properties can introduce many errors that are almost impossible to debug. My advice is to never use them in your code. As you can see, there's an error inside the add method. If you move your mouse cursor over the error, you'll see a message complaining that the round number method is not static. Static methods are isolated from non-static methods, since non-static methods can only be used via an instance of the class. The only way to allow the add method to call the round number method is to make the round number method static as well. In the same way as you did with the add method, make the round number method static. As you can see, the errors have now disappeared. Because the add method is now static, you no longer need to create an instance of the class to call it. Open the code behind file of calculator.aspx and remove the line calculator functions equals new calculator functions. Since you're using a static method, you don't need an instance of the class anymore. The line that calls the add method is now marked as an error. This is because the functions instance of the calculator functions class no longer exists. To fix this, change the line to double result equals calculator functions dot add first number comma second number. View the page in your browser now and test the calculation. As you can see, the calculation still works without any problems, but you've reduced the amount of code needed to call the method by making it static. Static methods are ideal when the method stands alone and has no properties. The calculations in the calculator functions class are a perfect example of this. Close your web browser now and close Visual Studio. You've now completed Lesson 6-9. Create a static method.